1 week ago, all hell broke loose. The senior investigators have gone missing. There's no trace, no evidence, no shred of anything for us to find them. There's no leads. The stories are wildly different. We heard that it could have been a human trafficking ring coming in to steal children. We heard that it was a terrorist attack. We heard it was gang wars. Too many stories. Too many witnesses. But no truth. Let me start at the beginning. We are Paranormal Investigations private investigators. Our senior investigators were going to go on a reconnaissance mission. We got a lead at the gymnastics meet happening at the school gymnasium nearby. So our senior investigators went. And then they did not return. A fight broke out. And they disappeared. In all the panic and confusion, no one knows what happened. We went there to check it out, but they're all gone. All of the senior investigators here. My mentor, Michael, Ray, and Melissa Alvarez, the leaders of this unit, and the parents to Nora and Malachi, they're all gone. And right now we have nothing. Nothing to find them. Headquarters in Athens is being increasingly difficult to work with. They say that there's no money to send any additional help for us, and that we are to keep taking on cases while the senior staff is gone. There's just 3 of us. One of them's a 10-year-old, for God's sake. Let me tell you what we have exactly to work with here. First, we have Nora and Malachi Alvarez. They're beautiful, brilliant children. But they shouldn't be working on something like this. Nora was an apprentice like me, working here, but she's the most talented person you'll ever meet. One day she's going to make it. She's going to be a big star. She can pick up any instrument and just make magic with it. This isn't her dream. This isn't what she's supposed to be focusing on. She's a kid. She's not supposed to be trying to find where her parents got sucked off to. But now she has to, because it's just her and me and her brother. Leads me to Malachi. 10 years old and he's a genius. Smartest kid. He should be focusing on school, learning his spells, making friends, experiencing the world. And now he's with us, going on things that are way too dangerous for a child. It's dangerous out there, and it's too soon. And then there's me, Ashley Fitzgerald. You can call me Fitz. I was in the army for a stint, and then after my first tour in Iraq, I got injured on the field, got medically discharged, and now here I am. I've been part of Pi Squared for about 3 years now. So I have these 2 kids, 18-year-old and a 10-year-old, and me, 26. And I guess it'll be the 3 of us against the world for a while. I faced worse odds.
We just gotta keep things going until Mom and Dad get back. I'm sure they'll be around soon. In the meantime, we've been trying to do what we can to figure out what even happened at that gym meet. Fitz got in touch with somebody that she knew from the FBI, and they said they think it's like a terrorist thing. I don't know, but apparently because of that, it's all locked down, and that's why we couldn't get in any time to check it out. We tried going by, but they wouldn't let anybody in. I don't think it was terrorists. That's not the kind of thing that Mom and Dad deal with. They deal with the magic stuff and finding people and that sort of thing. Why does everybody always assume it's something like that instead of just seeing that it's magic? It's right there in front of them. It's so obvious. Anyway, we can't get in, so we just kept calling around and trying to see what we could find out, but nobody seems to know anything. Nora tried calling Misty. She didn't really know anything, but I mean, She's always off in the mountains, so it's no surprise. She never knows what's going on in town. We're not giving up, though. Either they're going to show back up, and I'm sure they'd have a good explanation for why we hadn't heard from them, or we're going to go find them ourselves. Simple as that. Oh, and I almost forgot. We got our first case on our own. Mom and Dad would be so proud. We're already becoming investigators just like them.
When Malachi called Nora and I downstairs, I wasn't really expecting customers. I mean, I know that we still have to take on cases so we can make money, so we can keep going and searching for all the missing agents, but it seems weird to be taking on a case. But we have to help people, and right now we have no leads. Maybe this can lead to something. In the meantime, at least we can help someone. It's too well-to-do couple who just showed up. James Lasters and Harriet Lasters. I sat down and talked to them with Nora, and apparently their daughter Reese has been missing for 2 weeks. And they've tried looking for her, but every agency that they've went to couldn't find her and dropped the case. I don't understand why people are losing family members left and right these days. We're gonna find Reese. She's an undecided major within the business school, and one night she just didn't come back. And nobody had seen her recently. But the last place that she was seen was at a house party at a place called Stove Cove's Rave Mansion. So Nora and I had a game plan. But there was one thing we didn't think about, and that would be the paperwork. Immediately after we asked all our questions, they had one of theirs. How much was it going to cost? And boy, oh boy, Nora and I had absolutely no idea. We didn't even know where the contracts were. I went to go to a computer, and I lost that battle against the computer. Could not find a blank contract for the life of me. At least I had Malachi there.
To the Rave Mansion! Rave Mansion, Rave Mansion, Rave Mansion. So, we're investigating our first case, and we gotta go to the Rave Mansion, and I talked Nora into letting me go. I don't think Mom and Dad would have let me go, but shh, don't tell Nora that. Anyway, so we're driving over there, and then we get there, and Nora says I can't come in. She said I have to wait in the car. That's not fair. So she and Fitz go up, and they're talking to the guys at the door, and the guys look kind of weird, and they're not letting them in. And then while I'm waiting in the car with Mishka, my flying cat, I get this vision. It happens a lot. Don't worry about it. But I get this vision, and I know that if I don't go help him, something bad's going to happen, so I need to go help him. So I ignored what Nora said, and I got out of the car, and I ran over to the door. And it turns out the reason those guards look so weird is because they're undead. But that doesn't really matter. They let us in. Nora and Fitz I think they were trying to talk him out of making him pay or something. They made him pay anyway, but they let me in. They didn't make me pay. But we go in, and it's just loud music and craziness, and it's so much going on.
Once we pushed through all of the dancing and the music and the people and the bodies, I could tell that he was excited, but also on just the brink of a nervous breakdown from everything going on. Nora was in her prime. She loved it. We decided to try and find this mysterious stove cove and ask him about what happened that night. We do find one random unlocked door. And in this room, there's just a far wall that's a bank of windows that overlooks the dance floor. And in one of the lounge chairs is Stove Cove. He smiles at us, but his teeth are sharper than normal. He's a vampire. His smile isn't pleasant. It isn't nice. It's cold. It's calculating. And I could tell in his eyes that the only thing he was thinking about is how he could use us to get things for himself. What we wanted was inconsequential. We show him a picture of Reese, and we ask if we could look through the security footage of the night that she was here. He told us that night was a special night, but he wouldn't tell us anything more without a price. He wanted blood. And of course, I couldn't let Malachi or Nora do it, so I did it. So, I offered my wrist, and well, he's a vampire. I'm sure he could figure out what happened. Hurt like a bitch, though. And after that was done, he would answer any of our questions. So we found out that night was kind of a special night because DJ Brains wasn't actually the DJ that night at all. His index finger apparently fell off, so they had to hire a temp. And the person they hired was a woman named Neolasa, some sort of fairy creature. And apparently some of the crowd really took to her in a kind of not a normal way took to her. But the way some of the crowd really fell in love with Mielasa, something supernatural is going on there. And just like that, we had our first lead. And while we're going through the book, we find her consent form for that night, and we find out that we're in a place without magic. Stove Cove had protected his place with anti-magic wards. Not necessarily important right now, but good to keep note of for the future. Nora goes up to one of the bartenders and asks him about Mielasa again, and gets more information. And he says that awakened folk are more taken to her than normal humans are. So what does that mean? And exactly what is Mielasa doing to these people?
Mom and Dad, you're going to be so excited when you get back and see what a good job we've been doing. We're investigating things on our own. We're figuring out how to use the computers and the paperwork and all that. You're going to be so proud. Just come on back, right? You got to be back here for us to show you what a good job we're doing. I'm sure you'll be back soon. Wherever you're at, I'm sure you're doing important stuff. Love, Malachi.
So we have our first case, Malachi, Nora, and I. Just the three of us. They're the best kids in the world. And until we find their families, I'll protect them with my life.